But of course, Albanese's got enough problems of his own at home. And whilst we learn that he may be starting to look at a backflip towards hosting a royal commission, we know that one of the issues, and I guess one of my concerns, is that what are the terms of reference he's going to come up with? Because we learned today that one of the AFP's groups that was supposed to be looking over counterterrorism, in fact, had lost funding recently and been disbanded quietly in only the weeks before the Bondi pogrom. So we now have a situation where Albanese's government has been absolutely instrumental in axing programs prior to this massacre occurring that were supposed to be overseeing counterterrorism in all its forms. And when we learn more about these alleged terrorists, we see exactly where their backgrounds were and what they were doing. It's just, I think this is where, and I think this is getting to the crux of why Albanese has been so reluctant to go down the Royal Commission, because this is all the stuff that's going to come out and show how his government has been absolutely culpable at allowing anti-Semitism to fester.
Yeah, well, this could just be the start of it. And suddenly he's now considering a Royal Commission. Look, I'm no counter-terrorism expert, believe it or not, but I can see that counter-terror capability is not some mythical resource you can just turn the tap on and off when you need it. It takes time and it takes consistency and it takes money. And so when you're dismantling a force such as this or a group such as this, at a time where the threat was not reducing, you know, it was only
escalating.
Yeah, it was only escalating, you know, with literally car bombs, with literally graffiti and anti-Semitism and the tension building, and that is the time. And to quote in the story out that it is a funding issue is so insulting. You know, last night we were talking about NDIS issues blowing out to be bigger than defence. And you're telling me that there's a funding issue for a group of a counter-terrorism intelligence and security for our country at a time where threat was escalating is just not a good enough excuse.
And it also makes you question the whole narrative we've been told by Albo, because he got up there days after the Bondi massacre and said the intelligence community, the agencies, they've never had more funding. No funding request has been knocked back by my government. But this story blows a massive, gaping hole in his story. And if he's lied about something as basic as that, as funding for intelligence, what else is he lying about? And this is why the only way he will call a royal commission is if he's dragged there kicking and screaming, because the dead bodies are going to be all around. And clearly he has so much to hide. And that's the point you raised there was great, Claire. We knew this was an issue. Mike Burgess got up repeatedly and warned that anti-Semitism was the #1 threat to life and our terror threat level was probable. But what did Labor do? What did our government do? Cut funding and force a national surveillance team specifically looking at counter-terror to shut down.